The people mocked Jesus, saying, "If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." He saved others. He cannot save himself. I remember when I was young, not truly understanding the mystery of the cross yet, I was thinking to myself, why didn't he come down from the cross? He could have. In fact, Jesus even said to those who were around him, his own disciples who were trying to defend him and keeping him from getting arrested, he said, "Do you not know that my heavenly Father could send 12 legions of angels at this very moment to defend me?" Jesus indeed was the Son of God. He was God crucified. But he was to work out the salvation of the world, not by saving himself, not by using the same power that God had given him to heal the sick, to expel demons, to multiply the loaves and the fishes. He was not to use the power that God had given him to save himself. Rather, he was to empty himself, as the second reading said today, to empty himself in obedience. He did so in order to reverse the sin of Adam and Eve, who did the opposite, who grasped out, using the hands and the arms that God had given them to only grasp after the fruit that had been given to them. Any fruit of the trees of the garden they were given, but they used that power to grasp after the fruit that they were told not to eat. To do what? To make themselves equal to God. But Jesus, the second reading says today, did not deem equality with God something to be grasped at. By allowing himself, by obedience to God the Father, to be crucified, and not saving himself with his own power, in that obedience, he reversed the sin of Adam and Eve. That would have been enough to save us. But the second reading said he died. Not only died, but he died death on the cross. Adam and Eve reached out to grab fruit from that tree. But Jesus, not grasping for power, allowed himself to be nailed to the tree. And in turn, he became the fruit of everlasting life upon the resurrection, and then in the formation of the church, in the Eucharist, we get to reach out and grasp the fruit of the Eucharist and be united through him to God the Father. As we continue to celebrate this Holy Week, let's allow ourselves to be poured out in obedience, to be poured out in prayer, to be poured out in good works, so that we may not grasp for power by our own sins, by our own pride, by our own disobedience, but that we too may allow ourselves to be crucified with Jesus by our way of life, and in that way experience the resurrection.